What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back once again to talk about our boy Apocalypse, the guy who always gets you drilled, and we are going to take a look at some fun situations. Let's talk about fun, right? Since we have this trash character, let's see if we can do something fun with him and wait for the supposed rework that we are going to get and so on. But in the meantime, let's try to have some fun. Let's try to play around with Apocalypse and if you can do something interesting with him, because maybe, just maybe, we have been using Apocalypse completely wrong compared to the way we were supposed to play with him. Maybe the goal from the developers right away was not to use Apocalypse together with a Horseman. So that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to take a look at Apocalypse within a few other teams and see what he's able to do, what he's able to provide when he's together with the other teams. But before we take a look into that, I want to give a big shout out to Tauna, as always, because Tauna copied one of my videos once again. I don't know what's going on, but Tauna always says that you need to give credit to him because of the data mines and so on. Why don't you give credit to other people as well? When you clearly copy the video, you said that someone told you in the Discord. We know already how that works. We have all the screenshots with what you say on your Discord. So why instead of lying, why instead of banning people from your YouTube channel comment section, why instead of blocking my name, you actually made my name the N-word on your YouTube comments? It's amazing. If anyone types my name, the comment completely disappears, because as it seems my name is pretty much the N-word for Tauna. So once again, big shout out to Tauna for copying another of my videos without giving any credit. As you guys can see right here, we have bugs that I found on Omega Red, the combination with Apocalypse, and then Tauna 7 hours after decided to copy the video and not giving any credit. So once again, big shout out to Tauna. Keep doing that, because that really makes you look like a great person, especially when you're asking for credit all the time. But let's go into the positive content. Let's take a look at Apocalypse without his horseman and see if he can do any nice things with this not so amazing character. Let's go. Before we start, I want to use the opportunity to give a huge shout out to the people who are members of the channel. You guys help keeping the lights on and making sure that the channel can have a consistent amount of content, because otherwise I would have to spend time doing other things, and you guys really help a lot. I cannot express in words how much I appreciate your support. And other thing is, thanks for everyone who joined on the previous live stream. It was amazing to have so many people watching the stream. The chat was so active. We had over 250 people on the live stream. We had thousands of messages on the live stream, so it was quite amazing. I really appreciate that. And as I always say, it makes me extremely happy, and every time I start a live stream, I want it to be something like hyped, that we can all feel happy about it, right? I think that's important. Okay, so with all that said, let's take a look at something that might also make you feel happy, which is theory crafting. Theory crafting might be something that you find interesting, because you can use your favorite characters together and you can get some additional value in the game. So first off, we are going to take a look at this match of Apocalypse together with Weapon X, and see if Apocalypse is able to provide any kind of benefit. Now, Weapon X, they can already destroy Darkhold with Dormammu. I just wanted to see if Apocalypse can improve that matchup, and the result is maybe yes, kinda, sort of, but it's Apocalypse. Yeah, right. It sucks. It really sucks. There is no other way you can say it. But because we have so many villains, we have 4 villains. So that means Apocalypse is going to get like 60% more focus. Then we also have mutants, which is going to increase the chance of Apocalypse to counter. We also have tech characters. So I thought this was a good way to maximize the focus and also the counter chance of Apocalypse, and maybe we are going to get some benefits out of him. We are going to use him as a striker in this video, but in other videos that we are going to take a look at, we are going to switch to skirmisher, because yeah, without villain mutants or villain tech, Apocalypse focus really sucks, really. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at this match. An amazing 400,000 punch up, and once again, or maybe I didn't say this yet, but I do not recommend this. Don't try this in Alliance Wars. It's just for a laugh. If you want to do the practice mode with this team, sure, go ahead, have some fun, but this is not something that you should use on live Alliance Wars, or you might lose. So we start off by ability block Morgan Le Fay. Then we turn rewind Dormammu. It's very important that you turn rewind Dormammu, but you don't want to do too much damage to him, otherwise this is not going to work out. Then instead of using the ultimate of Sabretooth, you are going to use his special, and you don't want to touch Dormammu, so keep that in mind. Then with Silver Samurai you are going to taunt, and Apocalypse still didn't have a turn, but Omega Red already had his second turn. But anyway, so Apocalypse does his special. He applies a bunch of buffs, including Safeguard, to Silver Samurai, and actually makes Silver Samurai quite amazing. It's very impressive. And he also applies immunity and Safeguard to Omega Red, which protects him from the Morgan Le Fay ultimate, which is amazing because he's a controller, and if he didn't have Safeguard and immunity, he would get Disrupt and Trauma, and that works very well for us. So you can see right there that we were able to destroy that Dormammu fairly easy. Now we have the Apocalypse ultimate. We are flipping a bunch of positive effects on the enemies, and now we're gonna start finishing them off. I'm going to ignore for a while what's her name, the Morgan Le Fay, because it's quite hard to catch her up, because we don't have like a Disrupt on demand, so it's not super inconvenient. So we were able to do some big damage to her, and because she had the trauma, whenever she did her special, the trauma from Omega Red stopped Morgan Le Fay from healing her up, and that means that we are going to be able to finish her off. Okay, so we are going to apply trauma once again to Morgan Le Fay. We are going to double tap her. It's a 4-on-2. Let's see if you can finish her off. So once again, Sabretooth using the special rather than the ultimate or the basic, so we can apply those offense downs, very important. And yes, it does not lower the damage from the Morgan Le Fay L still, but it still reduces part of the damage. Okay, so Morgan Le Fay is gone, and there we go. We were able to use Apocalypse together with the Weapon X and do a 400k punch up on Darkhold. It's not like amazing or beyond amazing, but once again, it's something that you can do for fun. And I mean, if you are desperate, you can try this in a live Alliance Wars, but it's not something I recommend. Okay, so now we have one of the really fun matches, and we are going to use Uncanny with Apocalypse against Darkhold, and this is quite a fun situation, I guess, because we have Apocalypse together with other mutants. Unfortunately, they are not villain, so they increase his focus, but they do not increase his counter chance. And because he's the fastest character on the team, it actually becomes very interesting, because he's able to apply the Safeguard and defense up to your characters, and that's going to be super convenient. But as you can see, my team is small, 800k, and we are just punching up 100k on Darkhold. They don't have the best size of weights. We are also okay. It's not like amazing. Once again, this is for fun, just to see that maybe Apocalypse has some value. Maybe you have been using Apocalypse wrong all the way. You are not supposed to use him with a Horseman. I'm just making fun of the situation, but it's pretty ridiculous. So let's take a look at this match in action, and it actually works very well for such a small team. facing one of the strongest horseman teams, I think it's quite interesting. Okay, so here we go. This time I'm using Apocalypse as a skirmisher. Even that he's getting a bunch of focus from the mutants, it's just not enough. Okay, so unfortunately you are stuck behind that Red Guardian. If you are facing the full Darkhold, this would be a lot easier, but unfortunately this is what I have. In my alliance doesn't have a very small Darkholds. This is the only one, and I thought this was going to be the best Darkhold to try it out. Okay, so we should be going at any second, maybe, please, go. It was late, it was very late. I mean, it's already 4 AM right now, but this was recorded like at 2 AM, so no surprise that my brain was lagging. Okay, so you can see right here that two of our controllers have defense up, immunity, and safeguard, and that's great because those are the two characters that Morgan Le Fay messes up. So Apocalypse was able to apply defense up, safeguard, and immunity to the two characters that matter, and it's the two characters with the highest damage, so it's always how it works. Okay, so right here I'm using Storm as a striker. I'm not sure if this is the best option. Some people use her as a raider, a striker, skirmisher, anything like that, but she failed to apply the stun to Morgan Le Fay, which was a little bit inconvenient to say the least. And then Wong killed a little bit too early or a little bit too late my Phoenix. It was kind of late for what I wanted to do, but it was okay because we were still able to remove that Red Guardian. And we still have all characters alive. Storm is still going to heal herself, so that's fine. Okay, I'm going to use her ultimate without charges. Anyway, we were able to remove that Agatha Harkness, we were able to remove that Strange Supreme, we were able to remove that Wong, and now we have a lonely, very lonely Morgan Le Fay. Can we finish her off, or is she going to finish me off? I taunted with Colossus. I'm not sure if that would be the best option, because we have several characters with vulnerability, and if she was a striker she would heal up for quite a lot. So maybe this is something that with Storm we could save the stun for this end game situation. Either way, with the basic from Magic and with the basic from Phoenix, we are trying to remove those buffs from the enemy so we can finish it off. Once again, like, this is a big Morgan Le Fay, level 90, teal gear with 7 L stars and 6 red stars or so. So it's not easy for such a small team. The characters on this team, apart from Apocalypse, they are level 80. Only level 80. It's quite embarrassing actually. But yeah, like I said, this is for fun. Like I said, we have to be playing Apocalypse wrong or something, because I don't know what the developers ended at. Okay, so once again we go with a special of Apocalypse. We ability block Morgan Le Fay, and now we are ready to finish it off. And here we go. 7 yellow stars, 6 red stars, Morgan Le Fay getting destroyed by Apocalypse and a bunch of low-level uncanny characters. So this was a lot of fun. Probably the only fun I had with Apocalypse so far. Okay, now we are going to take a look at another very funny team. So we are going to use the Marauders with Emma Frost and Apocalypse, because why not? I mean, Mr. Sinister has worked with Apocalypse. Strife was supposed to be the vessel for Apocalypse. Strife exists because Apocalypse put the whatever techno-organic virus on Cable, and then Cable was cloned, and the clone is Strife, and then Strife associated with Apocalypse. So why not a themed team in order to beat the Darkhold? And once again, this is garbage level tier characters. The only character with teal gear is Madeline Pryor, and everyone else is like level 80 and orange gear and so on, apart from Apocalypse. So let's take a look at how exactly this works. And once again, we are using Apocalypse as a skirmisher, because yes, even with all these mutants, he still doesn't have enough focus. And yes, it's true that Strife gives focus in his passive to villains, but it's only on Alliance Wars defense, so unfortunately it does not work. So with the Strife's basic, we are going to remove the taunt from Red Guardian. and then with Apocalypse we are going to apply ability block to Wong. I'm gonna be honest, I had to refresh these like 4 times or so, because Apocalypse focus is just 20% garbage. Emma Frost here is not doing much, she's dying way too fast, the enemy team is just way too strong. So we are going to do a basic with her, and she's going to die off, unfortunately. But that's fine. Maybe if you'd have her a little bit bigger, she would be more interesting. And now we are going for the funny part. Cloning. Yes, let's go cloning. We already have Strife, which is a clone. Now let's get Morgan Le Fay, who's also a clone. Apocalypse loves clones, to be honest. Apocalypse loves clones. And we clone Morgan Le Fay, and now you use the clone Morgan Le Fay against the Darkhold. And there we go. So the enemy Morgan Le Fay is still quite big, and because my Mr. Sinister is smaller, my Morgan Le Fay is not that big. But when Morgan Le Fay comes into the game, I think she also gives more stats and more resistance to Apocalypse, making him a lot stronger. And that's interesting, right? Okay, so I'm going to do big damage on that Morgan Le Fay, and the empowered ability of Apocalypse only steals health from the enemy. It actually doesn't deal any damage, so it will always cut 60% of the health of the enemies, and that's okay. But it would be nice if it would do some additional damage as well. So Madeline Pryor with her ultimate finishing off Morgan Le Fay, showing to Morgan Le Fay that Madeline Pryor is the best waifu. And unfortunately she had the disrupt and the defense down, otherwise we'll be able to apply buffs to her, defense up, regens and so on with Mr. Sinister. Unfortunately it was not the case. Either way, now we have 3 on 2, we have Wong and Agatha, but don't forget that Wong still does a lot of damage. Wong by himself can still do some nasty things, and Agatha now with a barrier, with a stun. Fortunately enough, the stun was on Apocalypse, and Apocalypse can remove the stun, but still a dangerous situation. Now you're going to finish off that Agatha, here we go, and now you just have to basic with both Apocalypse and Morgan Le Fay. Unfortunately, we are running out of vulnerabilities, and that's a little bit inconvenient. Because after, oh no wait, we have this guy as a skirmisher. Okay, so he's applying vulnerabilities, we just don't have any striker, and Morgan Le Fay, she's not a striker as well. Morgan Le Fay almost dying, so Mr. Sinister coming up with the healing for the clone, there you go. And when you clone Morgan Le Fay, and when you attack with Mr. Sinister, Morgan Le Fay basic is just amazing, so it's something really unbelievable. Okay, so for the last match, this one is not a big deal. We have Masters of Evil with Apocalypse instead of Ultron, and we are taking a look at this scenario because there are many matches where Ultron becomes inconvenient. If you are facing Spider-Man Noir, if you are facing Darkhold, every time you use the Ultron abilities and his minions is always giving turn meter to the enemy, so that's very inconvenient. So I decided, let's take a look at Masters of Evil with Apocalypse and see what he's able to provide, and if it's beneficial for you to use Apocalypse together Masters of Evil instead of using Ultron. One thing that didn't work out very well for me was having Apocalypse next to Absorbing Man. I think, I don't remember exactly, if I didn't have him next to him, he would not get a disrupt. But this is one of the biggest problems with Apocalypse. It's not only the focus, it's also the resistance of Apocalypse is extremely trash. While Dormammu can get resistance up to like 50,000, it's not the case for Apocalypse. He has like 10,000 resistance, which is very embarrassing. And every time he has any kind of buffs, the buffs get removed. But either way, you can see that Kang together with Apocalypse is just a great combination, and because you don't have Ultron, we are not giving all kinds of turns to Morgan Le Fay, and that's very convenient. Okay, so even at this point in time we are still getting slapped. There you go, you saw Apocalypse stealing 60% of the health of the Morgan Le Fay, and that's why the empowered ability is not like super amazing. Okay guys, so that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just a little fun with Apocalypse and a few situations where he could be useful since he has the tags and since he gets the benefit out of being together with mutants, tech characters, and also villains. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video just to cheer up a little bit while we wait for the rework of Apocalypse. Hopefully it will happen. And if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, make sure you share it to your friends on Facebook and Discord, especially if they are feeling a little bit depressed with Apocalypse so far. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.